Have you noticed that sometimes you have a spark, wanting to do something, have an idea, and when you act upon it immediately, you can realize it. When you wait, when you hold, when you contemplate on it and you start writing it down, it takes too long, spark is gone, moment is gone, done, missed it. The clarity comes to, there is a difference between a spark and a threat. Ooh, that sounds exciting, right? A spark is just a glimpse, a moment, and a threat is something that takes a little longer. So why is this, and why is this happening, and what to do with it, and how to see the difference, because that really helps me, and that and more. Let's have a powerful video where that clarity is really going to help you to make more use of the moments in your life when the door opens, a spark comes, and an interest comes, and you don't act upon it. And the idea is do act upon it before it's gone, right? So if these are videos that you like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share it with others, and so we all can have this beautiful spark and threads and act upon them. All right. I just come to this realization, and on this, I do every week a video, and it's all inspired by my life. I don't plan them. I just go on, press record when there's something an idea or something in my mind, and then let's roll with it. It is all about living from that space of essence, of your true self, your authentic, or however you call that, right? Living from there, and what then you come across. Because in the olden day, and I call that light living, right? And I do that on my Facebook, and I do that here in YouTube, and I do that in a place that I created where we go much deeper into this and share our experience and expand ourselves. That's the Light Living tribe. So the olden days is where we would have an intuition. Maybe it was even an intuition. It could also be an idea. We have an idea or an intuition. Let's say it was intuition. And then we go with it, and it remains. You might work on have a project, or you want a new job, or find a new partner, or like me, you work online and you have an idea for a course, a training, a project, a workshops, and you go with it. And you can take time. There is time to stay with it. You might even make goals and reach that. I mean, I don't tell you anything new. That's the reality where most people live in. And that's how we knew it was. So what happens now? And I might not tell you anything new, but it's just the realization and the awareness where you're going to benefit from. So what happens now, this morning, before I did this video now, I had this idea, I want to make a video about, my Christmas holiday has started. I mean, I have a lot of people coming here. I need to prepare. I'm recording this on the 23rd of December. So, but I had this idea and I thought, let me make a video. And it was all about presence. And then I had this idea, started to write it down. Then I started to play with ChatGPT, what other ideas it had, and shared my ideas and how I want to do it, if it had anything to add there, and something I normally never do. But I got so into it, I was so enthusiastic, and by the end of it, the whole spark was gone. So maybe one day you will see a video on presence and why that is so important, why it is all, this is falling down, why it is the power of presence, really. It is an essential element of living and creating from a space of what you desire, not in the sense of manifestations and all. But anyway, let me not talk about that, because that spark has gone. And then it was so fascinating me so much. I was so in the moment, and I should just have started recording. Well, I was still in bed, so that was difficult, but I should have stayed with it. The idea a little bit in my mind, go and have a shower, get myself ready, and start recording. That would have been fine. But me spending moments with it, contemplating, thinking about it, which I love doing, but for a spontaneous video on YouTube, that spark is gone. Because if I don't sit here with a spark, I don't sit here with an inspiration, I'm not sitting here. That's how simple it is. I'm not doing anything without it. I'm not doing anything. And that spark doesn't need to be, I'm so passionate about it. But it's like something in you awakens. Just give me. So now that we shifted from this old way of being, the doing, the making things happen and the hustling, to this new way of being where you allow and trust and your higher self, your higher you, and go with the flow and all that. It's a different way of being. Doing from being 3D, 5D and all that. Pushing, allowing, making it happen, magnetizing and all that, right? The difference there. So now it's really, and you might know that, it's a spark. There's something you have and you need to go with it immediately, because it overrides the whole thinking, the whole making it something, thinking, well, what would it lead to? Will people like it? Or how much will it make? Or not here, but just as an example, you start strategizing, thinking about it, your mind gets involved. Don't. I think that's what this spark is about. There's just a spark, there's a moment of inspiration, and you go with it. And the moment you start working with it, it's gone, because that was never the purpose. It is you living, how I like to say it, you living your light, you living your essence, you living from your soul, your heart. That comes with sparks. That comes with moment of inspiration. That comes with that energy. And only in that energy it wants to go into the world, not with you throwing all these things on top of it. It just wants to come out pure and light and easy as it's sparked up. So if you're going to mix into that, then it disappears. So I said in the beginning, there is threats, because I also, I'm working on a mini-series. You have me talk about that maybe for a long time. But then I was so busy with other things, amongst others, applying for jobs. And that is such an old way of functioning, in being very focused and thinking about the future. And it is a different energy. I can't do sparks. I can't do things that are really coming from intuition, or my expanded self coming through me in this moment, speaking to you, right? I don't think about what I'm going to tell with you. The only thing, sometimes look here, the only thing I wrote down, sparks are messages, threats are contributions. That's what's written there. That's all. That was my idea. And it comes out best when we don't put our mind too much involved. So threats then is, because I'm working on the mini-series, and I was thinking, hey, isn't that funny? Because it's not finished, because it was 6 videos and I only made 4, but I know exactly what to do with the other 2. I still feel like, yeah, I want to do that. There's some things, when you don't finish it, it was in a spark, just in a moment, and a message that needed to be spread, something that needed to be conveyed from that space of beingness, then that evaporates when you don't act upon it. But a threat, it's something I'm contributing. In this mini-series on living your light in relationships, or having beautiful, wonderful relationships, loving family, colleagues, whatever relationships. And I love doing that. And that's the difference, is you can say that's a threat, and that is something that contributes to the world. Now, I don't know if that is always the case in that, but I like that distinction. Sparks are just messages that need to be shared in the moment. And a thread, although it starts from a spark, right? But a thread is something that contributes something to to society or to a certain group. And that is therefore easier to I would say, hold on to, but it's not about, it's important to hold on to, because the moment it goes, it goes. And like with the miniseries, if it was gone, I would have just put it aside. Pity, because it's really, really a treasure. And it will support you so much in your relationships. I'm not selling it to you. It's not there. I don't know if it will ever come out. I need to pause for a moment. I don't remember what I started to say, but what I want to say is it doesn't really matter also. Sometimes you can grieve or mourn for the fact that you have spent energy and time on something and then you can't finish it. Yeah, I do that sometimes. I was doing beautiful audios, but it just didn't sit well with me, and I wanted to do it, had to do them again, and the moment was gone. Fine. So if you do something in life that has the moment and has the momentum, as much as you can, go with it, right? You know that. And just feel into it when it leaves you. Is that because I'm not present with myself and I'm just lost myself in it? I made a video about that last week, where you can go back asleep once you awakened and really lose yourself in life, I would say. And not being present with yourself, it's difficult to feel the spark and the threads in that moment. I think it's impossible, actually, when you're there. But when you're really present with yourself, when you really hear in the here and now and feel your presence and are on this earth, living here, doing life, and emphasize that so much because many of us are not here, but here is where it's happening, in this body, through this breath, through these eyes, through these fingertips, through this body, life is happening. And then it's following whatever wants to move through you. So there's one thing with wanting to hold on to things that you started, or it was an old idea, because what I could have done this morning, I lost the spark, but I could have still dragged myself here and go sit down and do it. I don't do that anymore, but the olden days, just like, yeah, that's on my agenda and let's go for it, and boom, 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 let's make this happen. You will find the joy once you start. And maybe yes, but if we want to live absolutely aligned and want to live our purposeful path, which I very much want to live, then I don't want to do anything against my own nature, anything against my own threats and sparks and inspiration, or anything against the knowing that that this is what wants to be expressed and go into the world. And there's another part I want to say, because often when we do something, contribution or sharing messages or whatever you do, if it's something new, if it's something out of your comfort zone, it comes with fear. And how easy it is then, I need to put my notes this 2 lines away because it distracts me. Okay. When you have this fear, it doesn't mean that that is then not aligned, because anything that is such a shift, so different, or if you want to make videos and you have never done that, it's freaking scary. If I look to my earlier videos 5 years ago, I sit there and this and them, the dum. It's so uncomfortable to watch. Of course you're going to be scared. Of course it's going to be fearful. I have that when I do something new, but it's also, and I spoke about it before, you can use that fear, all these fear hormones, and shift it into adrenaline, to the excitement. You can allocate or divine, let me put it like, you can divine the fear symptoms, right? Beating heart, sweat, or whatever you have, and your throat's. It happens the same if you need to go on stage for the first time and you're also really excited to do that. So shift your definition of that. Oh, it's slightly fearful, yes, but it's also really exciting. And mostly I'm focusing on the excitement. And fear can come along in the background. So it's very easy to say, well, yeah, there's another thing. It's not the topic of today, but I just think about it. So that is it. Take fear along, divine it differently. And this beautiful distinction between once you start, and because the more we live from the more we are present in the moment and live from our soul, the more we want to contribute, I believe. And contribution is you stepping into the world, doing things in the world. And that's why so much I like to do a job that gets me away from sitting behind the screen all day. Now, I love what I do, but I also love to go into the world, very much so. Yeah. So what helps there to make it less scary to whatever you want to bring into this world, right? Even if it's your music, your art, or you're writing a book, or doing something what is to do with into the world. Basically, all your expressions are into the world, I would say. Not true. You can have an expression and then you need to bring it into the world. What helps so much? Let me get to the point. There's a distinction between I do this because I want to express myself. It's coming from me and I'm staying here with that expression. I'm enjoying that. And there is another part, another moment in that process where you start thinking about how to get that into the world. And will it work and will it be received and all that. Now what we often do is while we're here expressing it, we already go to the second phase. And then we block ourselves. So when you feel a lot of I want to, but I can't get myself to it, I'm blocked, I'm stagnating. This should be an all other new video, but anyway, I'm stagnating and I'm stuck or I can't make myself to do it. I think often it's because you go already to the second part. How will this be received? How what will happen with it? And I would say leave that for a moment. If you're stagnating, right? If that goes well for you, doesn't matter, and stay here with the expression. So where I started with, the spark left because I started to be here. How will it be received? How can I tell it? And that's what happened. And I lost it because I went away from, and not even I lost myself, not at all. It's so subtle. I'm just having an idea and I love to see the different elements of it and write some things and prepare something, and a very normal human thing to do. I was here, right? Will it be understood? What else can I do there? How does it look good? Not really conscious. So I went away from the spark. I was just too much on this. And the expression is like what I do now. I don't need to think about it. Let's go. Are these perfect videos? No. Have I moments I'm rambling? Yes. Am I sometimes, probably very often, my English not perfect? Yes. Who gives a damn? If that's not what you like, you watch something else. It doesn't matter. In the earlier days, I would spend the whole day on these videos because I would edit, I would put titles underneath, and very seldom I still do that when I feel the message is so important and I didn't deliver it clear enough. So let me do some editing. But in general, this is just me in the face of expression. And it really, really helps if you find all of that, your expression into the world. And that's with anything you do. So if you're inside your house and you're keeping it to yourself, that is you not coming into this world. Again, another video topic. Yes. Because we are, and I do that as well, but I at least I'm coming out here, not that I'm any better. No, don't get me wrong. I have the feeling I really need to get my ass out of this house and need to do something in the world. Let me be my light in the world. Let's see how that goes. I love that. And the next thing I started to think about, oh, no, this is too much. No, too much personal things. Enough. Let me stay with you. Let me round this and see if we can come back to the spark and the threads. The spark as messages, things that wants to be shared, expressed, or something that you sparked, that's something you want to do. You want to bake a cake. The same thing. You want to bake a cake. Imagine it's just an inspiration in a moment. And then instead of just starting to bake it, you start to look through old books and starting to read about the history of flowers. I don't know. And how these kind of cakes you want to bake were baked before, and you did a whole study. Do you still feel like you want to bake that cake? You lost the moment. So it's about anything, right, that you want to create. And then I would say you can eat it yourself or put it into the world, share it with your neighbor, or put it online and say, I have a few pieces left. Who wants to eat some? I had that around the corner here one day. I was walking and someone had on a table in front, we're in Amsterdam here, like next to the channel, a little table, 2 chairs with a little note, coffee and apple pie. There was a beautiful apple pie for €1. Just so that the young daughter, I think she was 6 or something, could get the concept of money. And she was selling it. The mom said, we just baked this and it's more than we can eat. So we want to share it. I mean, that's bringing your gift into the world, right? Sharing with the world. Yeah. Anything last words to say about sparks and threats that wants to be said? I have the feeling I'm repeating myself. So yes, whenever there's a spark, act upon it. Go for it. Don't think your way through it. And you might going to make mistakes and it's going to be awful. And you think, oh my gosh. Or you might think, oh, that was a great learning moment. Now I know next time I can do this and that and it looks much better if there is a next time. It's fine. Every moment is a learning moment. Every moment is the perfect moment, I would say. And when there are threats, you will notice because you still feel the interest. And then don't plan the shit out of it. But like with this mini-series of 6, yes, I planned it at beginning the overarch, whereas every video is going to be about. This all short videos, hence it's a mini-series, where they all about what I want in every one, very briefly. And then the first one, I thought, oh, that needs to be this and this and this. Let's go. Second one, all right, this something like that. Yes, switch. Let go. Let's go, not let go. Let's go. Let's roll. Let's record. Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with planning as such. But it is staying with, and the mini-series, I'm not thinking so much. Sometimes I'm trying, oh, this is nice actually. Sometimes I'm trying to get into how will I market this or how will this go in the world? And it gets blurry in my mind. Isn't that beautiful actually? It gets blurry because that's not where I need to think about now. I need to focus on the recordings and making it beautiful and insightful and helpful and mostly, that's actually not true what I'm saying. Mostly it's because that's what I really want to share. That's what I'm staying in. I so much want to share that because it feels so exciting to me. I want to share that with you. And actually, if I go in, is it useful? I'm losing the thread. So this does fit all in this video. Okay, then let us finish there then. Beautiful to do this together. And I hope you had great holidays whenever you watch this. It was beautiful to do this together. Much, much, much love. And let's meet each other again in another video. Thumbs up if you like it. That really helps others to see it as well. Love that. And subscribe. I'm leaving you. Bye-bye.